My hair's just getting fucking massive by this point. So, the Xbox 360. Now, this is the first console we're going to talk about that wasn't a Christmas gift or a birthday gift from my parents. No. This was a birthday gift from the girlfriend I had at the time. And truthfully, at first I was kind of uncomfortable with it. I didn't really want anyone spending that much money on me. That being said, I have the console, so I didn't exactly fight it that hard. I guess what makes the 360 kind of special for me is that it's the console that brought me back into gaming after a period of not really paying gaming that much attention. I'd been too busy playing guitar and being in bands and thinking I was definitely going to be a rock star, and in case you're thinking, oh, maybe I was, here's definitive proof that I was not. Yeah, so thankfully the Xbox 360 brought me back into gaming, and did it with a bit of a bump. I went from playing the occasional game on my ancient PC or my PS2 to a world of achievements and user accounts and Xbox Live. And I'm not going to lie, it was fantastic. I actually ended up with a fairly sizable collection of 360 games, most of which have now been sold or given away as I either rebought them on Steam or I looked at them and thought, what the fuck were you thinking? And then realising I used to do a show called Scott Plays Bad Games All Hammered, but why would you keep the bad game afterwards? It's bad. However, here are 5 games that are not bad, mostly, and I feel like they really sum up my time with the Xbox 360. I know that nobody thinks of Rage as id Software's best effort, but I actually have a bit of a soft spot for it. First of all, it was the first id Software game we'd seen since Doom 3, and as someone who grew up in Doom 1 and 2, I was really excited. And yeah, they really overpromised what Rage was going to be before it launched. They said it was going to be story driven, but it wasn't, and the ending came and went faster than a deadbeat dad in a mediocre film. And they said it was going to be open world, and it wasn't. It was more like having a driving minigame in between levels. But if you can look past what it was meant to be and take a look at what it actually is, Rage is a pretty solid shooting game. The enemies take cover and change position, the guns feel and sound suitably meaty, the town hubs are full of personality if you go looking. Admittedly, the Authority are a bunch of villains so boring that it's impossible to get any satisfaction from killing them. But if you look at clearing out bandit dens or levels like the Dead Hospital, there's a lot of fun to be had with Rage, and it really is worth a look. I don't tend to buy games on the day that they're launched. I usually wait a little while, see them on sale and pick them up then. It's a hangover from periods of time where, frankly, I was fucking skint. Street Fighter 4 was the exception though. I remember grabbing it from GameStation in Falkirk, because I was working in Falkirk at the time, and this was before GameStation was bought over by Game, and then ruined, and then shot in the back of the head. And it was really exciting to play this online for the first time, alongside what must have been thousands of people. At least until I came across a guy playing as Sagat, who pounded me into dust on more than one occasion, because none of us knew that Sagat was really, really overpowered, but you live and fucking learn, don't you? Past that sense of excitement, however, was relief, because Street Fighter 4 felt right. It felt like the Street Fighters you'd played before. It felt fantastic. Even though it had jumped to a new generation of consoles and started using 3D graphics, the familiar bits still felt familiar and the new bits felt interesting. Except for Seth. Seth can fuck off. Fuck off, Seth. Okay. Let's address the elephant in the room. I know there's going to be someone out there on Twitter, on Facebook, in the comments, complaining about how Mass Effect 3's ending was terrible and how it ruined the series. Well, fuck you. You're wrong, and you're stupid. You want to complain about the ending of Mass Effect 3? Mass Effect 3 was made up of tiny little endings, tiny little points of closure for every single relationship that you had built up over the course of 3 games, like maybe getting back with your girlfriend or boyfriend from the first Mass Effect, Maybe seeing how Jack had gone from an absolute nutcase to a more well-rounded mentor of psychic students. Or maybe teaching Joker how to dance and then fuck a robot. Oh, but it didn't take into account every single individual choice I made over the course of 3 games. Well, go on then. Draw me the flowchart of how that would have fucking worked out for you. That being said, I'll defend the ending. But I went back to play it to get some footage for this, and Jesus, this game runs like crap. Maybe it's just that my 360 is kind of wheezing its way into the end of its life, but the frame rate on Mass Effect 3 on the Xbox 360 anyway, it's fucking terrible. Do you remember it this way? I don't remember it this way. I just remember playing it and enjoying it, but nowadays, in the age of 1080p and 60 frames per second, or maybe even 4K, it's kind of hard to ignore and kind of hard to go back to. If you're going to play Mass Effect 3 again, get it on the PC and get a good PC. Speaking of games that I clearly don't remember right, Mirror's Edge. I remember loving the concept of Mirror's Edge, and I remember being really excited that here we had a first-person game that wasn't just kill the bastards while screaming, except it's the mid-2000s now, so those bastards are probably foreign. I also remember being impressed by the art style, and that part does hold up. This pristine, glistening white city, but being guided by these splashes of colour. It looks amazing to this day. What I don't remember is how fucking janky the controls are. And I don't just mean that I'm shit at the game, which is also true. I mean that classic moment where you start arguing with your controller, where you do something and your character on screen doesn't do it, and you're like, no, motherfucker, I jumped! I fucking did! And then your wife looks at you going, did you? I'm like, yes! Fucking did! Mirror's Edge is kind of full of those moments. Also, those splashes of colour I mentioned earlier, they don't always make it that clear where you're meant to go. Although that might just be me getting old. I don't fucking know. On a more positive note, I fucking love being Batman. And Arkham Asylum lets me be Batman. I don't just mean playing a wee game where you get to play as Batman and you get some token bat abilities. No. Arkham Asylum lets you fucking be Batman, and it has a little section of gameplay for every single thing that makes Batman what he is. You can batter thugs, you can be an amazing detective, you can grapple up somewhere high and then glide across the whole island. And every single bit of this game feels authentic. It feels like it could have been ripped straight out of the comics or some of the movies. From the design of the asylum itself to the design of every single character that Batman ends up battering, there's not a bit of it that doesn't feel like it's Batman. The combat is smooth, it's simple, but it's kind of difficult to master. But when you do and you get that amazing streak of hits, you feel like you're fucking Batman. When you use your brains to collect every single Riddler trophy, you feel really smart. You feel like you're fucking Batman. When you find yourself occasionally mimicking Kevin Conroy's voice, you feel like, well, a twat, but also you feel like you're fucking Batman. Until we got the later games like Arkham City and Arkham Knight, it was as complete a Batman experience as we had ever got before. And to be honest, it's still worth a play today. So, there you have it. That's the story of me and the Xbox 360. But what about you? Did you have a 360? What games did you have for it? Let me know in the comments below. And please stay the fucking doors. Like, it's sunny out and stuff, but just, like, one, I don't want you to spread a disease, and, like, I've got shit hair. I don't want you to see my shit hair, and I don't want to see your shit hair. Stay in fucking doors.